let's jump into it. My name
Yes.
is Johnell. I'm with my guy Matt Price, Cash Walk In, and this is Heat Check powered by Designated Report. And today, as of recording, it is Wednesday, December 18th. We are a week out from Christmas. Have you gotten
Yes.
all your shopping done?
Listen, Amazon next day, 2 day. Some of it's on the way. Some of it's gonna get done later this week or tomorrow. I'll probably finish everything tomorrow. I can't believe you people actually go to the store. What's wrong with y'all? Like,
Somebody,
there's people
somebody
who
was
like will
asking me about that.
foolishly
Yeah,
go and be like, "Oh, it's about the thing. It's about like the Christmas spirit." Like what? Being mad, standing in line, getting in
yeah.
traffic. Like, nah, I'm straight, bro. I'm straight. I haven't come to me. I haven't sent in. That's what bosses do.
I mean, if it was up to me, I tried. Like, I kind of knew what my parents wanted, my siblings. I tried to get them to give me a list at like the beginning of November. I was like, that would give me plenty of time. I could shop around. I could order whatever I need to order.
Yeah,
Their stuff is still coming in because they
yeah,
decided to wait until like a week ago to let me know what they wanted. So,
that's
no,
it.
I'm absolutely not going to a store. That's too much effort. It's too much aggravation. No,
Yeah,
thank you. Like you
waiting.
said,
Like that's
Amazon
time.
or anything else. Just give me time to be able to
Anything.
order it and get it in.
2 days is all you should need. With the way, shout out to all the USPS workers and the UPS drivers and the FedEx drivers and the Amazon drivers. Shout out to all you guys this time of year. I know you are working overtime. So
Yeah.
shout out to y'all, man. Make sure you guys take a moment to enjoy the holiday season yourself too, man, because it's crazy out here. But I appreciate you getting my stuff here on time. I just trust that I
Oh,
know the people that I love. I trust that I know them. I don't really, I mean, we do like a family secret Santa. And like, so
okay.
it's on Amazon. Like, you could create a list. So the person you get, they already put in the things that they want.
That's
It's within like a dollar amount limit. Like, think about that for your family. Cause y'all are older now too. Like, your youngest brothers is older now too. Like,
yeah.
they making money. You could get that, like, exactly. Like, everybody, and it shuffles it up for you. You just hit like, pick your person, boom, and it gives you somebody automatic, and then you could check
That's
their wish list. Yeah, it's dope. And then it's how yeah. So I got a good person in my family. This person is easy to buy for. I was gonna throw a bonus in for this person because I know that they
okay.
would like that. And yeah, it's good.
I
It's
like
good. I'm gonna go over the dollar amount because I'm a good guy
it.
and I love Christmas.
You calling yourself a good guy feels counterintuitive. Like somebody else has to call you a good
Well,
guy.
did you hear what I just
But
said? I'm going over
I
the dollar
understand.
limit,
I
okay? Because
understand.
I love this person that much.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Um, so first thing I want to get into, we crowned a brand new uh, NBA Cup champion last night.
Yes.
The Milwaukee Bucks defeated the Oklahoma City Thunder 97-81. In a game that honestly wasn't as close as what the score would make it seem. Close through the first, the Thunder were actually up 51-50 after the first half, and then second half the Bucks just kind of ran away with it. Um, Giannis 26, 19, 10, and 3
Mm,
blocks. Dame had
mm.
23, 4 and 4. Um, did we learn anything about either one of these teams? OKC still sitting at the top of the West. The Bucks, I believe, are the fourth seed as of recording. Um,
Hmm.
but we also know that the Bucks were in the cellar just a few weeks ago. So,
Yeah,
have we learned anything about either one of these teams?
I think we learned that it's not quite. We're not quite ready to bury the Bucks yet. I think that because they showed that they have some impressive pieces, and if they're playing that way, they can beat anybody. And
Yeah.
what stood out to me last night, John, is the defense. The defense was phenomenal. Giannis is a former Defensive Player of the Year. He was all over the place. Bobby Portis did not a great game offensively. He was 2 of 9 from the field, 1 of 3 from three. But man, defensively, he just turned it up to another level. He was a plus 13, even though he only had 5 points in 19 minutes. The other player that I have to give a shout out to is Andre Jackson Jr.
Yes.
Remember that name. He is of the likes of Tony Allen and these versatile defenders, these guys that were assigned to guard Kobe. And yeah, Kobe had 26, but it was on 6 of 24 from shooting or from the field because every shot was so difficult, or he had to go to the line and make free throws to get there. This is what Andre Jackson's numbers are: 2 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist. Oh, one of 6 from the field, 0 for 4 from three, plus 12. Guarded Shea all night. No steals, no blocks, but he's a plus 12. It tells you it tells you what you are on the court. It tells you that you're playing winning basketball. So I got to shout him out. He's an extremely athletic player, very raw. Shout out to Doc for understanding what his weaknesses are, but still saying, "Yo, like I could use this guy. He has some special gifts." He put it on display last night. Totally. Shout out to him. Dame, 5 of 10 from three, 50%. You do the math, and yeah, man, it's starting to come together. You saw you said what Giannis did. His numbers were incredible as well. I just think it's not time to bury them yet. There's some good basketball left in this team. They've been, what are they, 13-3 or something like that, or no, 11-3 in their last 14.
Something like that. Yeah.
Uh, yeah, yeah. I mean, they're playing great basketball. They're playing great basketball right now, and Doc's got them motivated. I saw after they didn't even spray the beers or the champagne around. They left it all in a bucket. They like just want to use it as a stepping stone, as I was saying last week. They wanted to use it as a stepping stone to catapult themselves, to push them through something to motivate them for the rest of the year. So congratulations to them. I love the message they sent with doing that. And yeah, man, don't bury the Bucks just yet. They're impressive, and they got some good things too. Good things going.
I agree.
Gary Trent
I
Jr.,
agree.
another guy off the bench who really impressed me, and all throughout that time in Vegas for the Bucks, he played a very good tournament out there. So shout out to Gary Trent as well.
Yeah, Gary Trent was somebody I was going to shout out as well.
Yeah,
On November 14th on this show, the Bucks were 4-8, 12th in the East. And at that time, I just had a feeling there was really nothing that I was going off of because they were playing so poorly. But I was like, I think
yeah,
with Giannis and Dame, like this team has a chance to make a run in this tournament, which they did. They won. But like you said, they're now 14-11. They've been phenomenal. They're fifth in the East right now. With regards to the Thunder, though, I think the biggest thing that I saw is that as good as they are and as good as they have been, they are just not quite there. And that's
yeah,
not to say that they can't be there. And when I say not quite there, I mean in a championship run. And
yeah,
that's not to say that they can't get there at some point this year, but just right now, um, there's still some growing pains that they're going through. They still need to learn how to win. And I feel like a
yeah.
broken record because I talk about it all the time on this show that I
This goes back to the
vehemently
playoffs. You
believe.
said this. You said this in the playoffs
Yeah,
about them when they went
I
down
just,
in the series. You said this like they're not ready yet.
yeah. I just trust championship pedigree. So like when you
Yeah,
get, the cup tournament finals, whatever, like that's a very new thing, obviously. But Giannis has won a championship. Dame has been in big playoff games and made big shots in playoff games. Obviously that roster, Bobby Porter,
yeah,
Lopez, like they've been together, they've won a championship, they know what it takes to win. The Thunder just aren't quite there yet. And again, that's not to say that they can't get in the playoffs, get hot, and just run through. And that's
yeah,
kind of how they gain their experience. But for me, just watching that game last night, it just looked like a team that was trying to figure out how to win a championship versus a
right.
team that's done it before and really kind of putting their boot on the Thunder's neck again,
Yeah,
especially in that second half.
yeah,
Um, the biggest difference to me was the three pointers. The Thunder, 5 of 32,
yeah.
15%. In
Ugh.
2024, you cannot shoot that poorly from three and they will not win.
No,
They
no
were out
way.
rebounded, they were out assisted. I do understand that they were without Chet,
Yeah,
and obviously him being on
I
the
don't think that
court,
makes
him
much of a
being
difference the way
healthy.
Giannis is playing right now. That doesn't
That's
make much
very
of a
true.
difference the way Giannis is playing. I don't think that
I,
I saw that on Twitter. I don't think it makes much of a difference with yeah. He's not prepared physically to
oh,
handle
I
what
agree with that.
Giannis is right now physically in his career. Giannis
I agree with
was
that.
built like how Clay is right now. Our excuse me,
Chet.
Chet is right now.
Yeah.
But Giannis, you see them shoulders, you see the muscle on his arms, the definition on his arms. Now, he wasn't like that in his first 3 years, like where Chet is.
Yeah.
So I think that they're physically on a different level, and Giannis is truly unstoppable right now. He's not injured like he was last year. He's banged up all
Yeah.
year. He is unstoppable, unstoppable. Doesn't even need to
So,
shoot threes. He was shooting threes last year because they told him to, and he's like, whatever. He was 0 for 0 from three last night because he got
yeah.
to the rim whenever he wanted to. He didn't need to shoot anything.
And I wasn't saying Chet would have impacted the game necessarily, but
Right,
what I'm
right.
saying is that they're a
He
different
helps them.
team with Chet. Yeah, they're a different team without Chet on the court than with him. So all of those things taken into consideration, like I'm not worried about OKC going forward. They're going to be in the playoffs. They're going to be a top four seed in the West, and from there, I think it's really a matter of matchups and how quickly can they grow up. Because as we all know, NBA playoffs is different from NBA regular
Yeah,
season. Um,
absolutely.
and yeah, I mean, just to kind of wrap up, Giannis is reminding people just how dominant he is.
Yeah.
He was hurt last year. It just it for a second, I feel like he was in that best in the world conversation. Um, I don't think he's there now, or I don't think the conversation is there anymore. But
Yeah.
see a game like last night, he can take over a game any given night, and there's truly nothing you can do once he gets rolling.
Got no shot. He got no shot. He is dominant right now.
So of these two teams, if I told you one of them is going to go to the NBA Finals, who would you choose?
The Bucks.
Really?
The Bucks. Because I think they got a trade that's gonna come. I think they're gonna try and get some extra 3-point shooting in there, and maybe some wing defending help to come off the bench. They're gonna get somebody who can spark them a little bit more with that bench. They need more scoring. Connaughton, he's been great for them over the years. Gary Trent is a good addition too. I think they just might look to get one more person in there to help them as far as getting some more bench scoring and some more explosion out of that second unit. But yeah, I would take them. Just the West, I just feel like even if OKC gets it, I mean they're going to be a 1 or 2 seed, but then it's like you talk about the championship pedigree. Look at like Denver is going to be back there again. Uh, Phoenix is looking fantastic right now. They're going to be back there again. I think those teams they might not finish ahead of Oklahoma City in the regular season like standings, but in a
Yeah.
playoff series, I like them better. Same with Dallas. Dallas, even if they were a lower seed, I could see Dallas beating Oklahoma City in a 6-3 or a 3-6 series. So, a third seed versus sixth seed. So
Yeah, yeah.
these things can happen, man. And I like it's like you said. There's something that's missing from them. It might be Chet as far as like how it all comes together. I love Hardenstein, his fit with that group.
Yeah.
But yeah, they need to like lock in and finish the deal. Last night there was a possession that stood out to me, and we can end on this. Um, Andre Jackson, like I was talking about him before, the Thunder had gone a few possessions without scoring, and then it's just Shea ends up, it's just him dribbling, and everybody's just watching, and Andre Jackson's just all over him, like takes him back to half court, then Shea tries to drive again, he's with him, spins back around, and Shea's just dribbling like lost, and nobody's moving, nobody's coming to help him, like that was like one of those moments where like a young team isn't gonna know to run a set right now. A young team is going to look to their best player and say, yo, bail us out. And that's not what you do in the playoffs. It's about execution. You need to be able to run your sets when you're tired and you need a bucket. So yeah, that's what they got to work on, man. It's just those little things, those little pieces that add to you being a champion. That's what they're going to learn and see if they got to learn it the hard way or not.
Yeah, yeah. Um, and just really quick to piggyback on your point, the with regards to the Bucks, I I I, I think I would go OKC. Um, if I had to pick one of those teams to go to the finals, um, it kind of I don't know. We'll see what happens with the Bucks. My concern is that they kind of dug a hole and had to work so hard to get out of it. Do they,
Right.
are they able to keep the momentum? Do they run out of steam, in the new year, February, right after All-Star break or anything like that? Um, and then just generally speaking, like last night they shot the lights out. Um, but while they are a great 3-point shooting team percentage wise, um, they don't take a lot of threes. I think they're
Yeah.
third in 3-point percentage, but behind you guys and the Celtics, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
They just don't shoot as many threes. So, and then offensively, defensively, they're kind of middle of the pack in both of those areas. I agree with you. I think they either need, and it's such a cliche kind of BS answer, but I feel like they
Yeah.
really need to either go all in offensively or defensively. Get another 3-point scorer, or
Yeah.
just a scorer in general, whether Zach Levine or
Yeah.
Cam Johnson or somebody, or you need somebody who's going to be able to go out there and truly be a defensive stopper when you're playing against Boston, when you're playing against New York, when you're playing against some of these top teams. You can't rely so heavily on Giannis to be that rim protector and be able to clean up everybody's messes. To be able to have somebody who can stay in front of, a Tatum on the wing or something like that
Yeah.
is
Tough job.
ultimately going to be what helps them get to the finals if they should get there. But I do think they're going to need to make a move.
Yeah. I agree. There's a
Something
move that has to
that
be made.
helps, yeah, something that helps the team without completely dismantling what they have now.
Yeah. Giannis is just, if I look at the two teams, I just think to myself, like, Giannis is the one of all the players on either team that's playing at a level that he could carry like they were playing terrible, and he took his game to another level. He was averaging like 29. He has raised that like 3 points. That's
Yep.
crazy. And scoring average over 15, 20 games. So
Yep.
yeah, man, it's he's on another level right now. He's on another level right now. I hope you guys are
It's
paying
been fun to
attention.
watch. It's been fun
Yeah.
to watch. Something that wasn't fun to watch. The Bulls and the
Oh
Hornets
God.
played last week, and they combined for 75. 75, 3/4 of 100, missed
Not an
three
all-star game.
pointers. Not an all-star game.
Regular season
Um,
game pass.
the
This one
three
counts.
pointers, the the 3 pointers, the amount of 3 pointers. I mean, this is just the league in 2024 at this point. Um, do you see this trend continuing? Does it get better? Does it get worse? We've never seen anything like that before. But do you
Yeah.
think we're going to see something like that again?
I think we're trending towards it, man. That's what it is. This is an analytics. This is the facts. This is an analytics driven league now. The analytics are simple. It's simple math. Three is more than two, and the more threes you take, if it doesn't matter how many you miss, it's about how many you make. And that's what the Celtics are doing. They're the defending champions, so everyone is doing it. It's like they say in the NFL, it's a copycat league in the NBA too. Same with all these professional leagues. The teams that don't win copy the style of the teams that do. So the league average right now, just to give you guys some numbers, let's get nerdy with it. The league average for all teams combined in the NBA is 35.9%. That's 3-point percentage. 35.9%. That's not good. Just to put it in perspective. So the league average is 39.9 percentage. The league average in attempts for each team altogether combined, make everything add up. It's 37.5 threes per game. So about 38 threes per game. Each team is on average taking. The Boston Celtics lead the way. And get this number. This will shock you. 51.1 attempts from three per game. That's of 91 total field goal attempts. So about 60% of the shots they take in a basketball game are threes.
That's
Um,
wild.
that's
And they're
wild.
shooting like
If for
39%.
context, and they're shooting 39% as a team. And for context, the next closest team, you said it before, are the New York Knicks. They're averaging 36 attempts per game. That's it.
Bro, that's
36
wild.
attempts is the second place team. So the Celtics are shooting 15 more threes than the next best team, and they're leading the way. So I don't see this slowing down, especially if the Celtics pull off another way to win it again this year. They shoot it well. It's going to be bad. There's going to be nights like Charlotte and Chicago because
Yep.
we don't have the shooters. But I feel like the game is being watched by younger kids. Younger kids are in their driveways shooting from deeper and deeper. They're in the gyms shooting from deeper and deeper. If you see Trey Young came in, he's the not the next Steph Curry, but he's shooting those type of shots. Luka, he's shooting those deep logo threes. Dame, logo threes. Like this is what is happening. Guys are shooting threes from wherever. They're making you defend the whole floor. It has its benefits and it has its pitfalls as well. So we're gonna see nights like that, but we're also gonna see nights where guys shoot 53s and make 27 of them like the Celtics, and you're in awe of it, of the shooting of the entire team because they got 1 through 5 in their starting lineup. Everybody takes at least four and makes at least two. It's what are you gonna do with that? You can't beat it.
Yeah.
Two's the
So
Knicks. The Knicks shot a better percentage and everything than the Celtics on that opening night game. The only difference is that the Celtics made like
yeah.
10 more threes, 11 more threes than the Knicks. The Knicks even shot better percentage from three, and they made a bunch, but not enough.
So in general, I feel like things are typically pretty cyclical. You
Yeah.
mentioned the NFL, and like the NFL went to a really pass happy,
Oh yeah.
5,000 yard a season passing quarterbacks every year, and it's kind of tapered back a little bit. And I feel like now you're starting to see more like downhill, like bruising running backs because
Yep.
all the linebackers and the defensive end, like everybody had to get so light and small and fast and shifty in order to guard
Yeah.
all of these slot receivers.
Now you just blow
Now
them off the
there's this
ball.
space. Yeah, now there's this space where you can blow them off the ball and you're just punching them in the mouth. To look at it from the basketball point of view, we haven't seen anything like this ever,
No.
and it's largely because of Steph Curry, as we're well aware. And it's just like, well, does it? I don't know if it gets better. I don't know if it comes to like a climax or an apex, and then it starts to come down a little bit. I truly don't know. I if if Adam Silver's concern or the league's concern is games like this Bulls Hornets game where there's 75
Yeah.
missed threes and they still combined for almost 200 points combined. It's not like they
Yeah.
missed 75 threes
Yeah.
and the score was 85 to 81. Like they
Exactly.
still scored a bunch of points. Um but if the league was like, hey, like this isn't a great product, we really don't want this. I think the only way that you can actually change it would be a rule change. And I don't think they want to do that either. Um
No.
my my immediate thought went back to the 60s and 70s when Kareem was just dunking on everybody and they had to ban the dunk, And it's like they're not going to ban three pointers. They're not going so like I agree with you. I don't think there's an end to this. I think the only hope would be that it gets better, it gets more
Yeah.
consistent.
The shooters are
Where
gonna get better as years go
exactly
on. Yeah.
where you have kids in AAU circuits and all through
Yep.
high school and college. This is how they've been shooting. So instead of whatever the number was, the league
Yeah.
average 35,
Oh, 30,
34%,
37.5. Yeah.
37. Maybe they're closer to like 41%, 42%. And
Yeah.
now it's a completely different thing where,
Exactly.
we're just getting these high scoring games. And so I don't
Now
know.
it's 150 to 148 and stuff every night. It's just gonna be
Yeah.
crazy. The
So
scores are
I
gonna
don't
be like
know.
NBA Jam.
Yeah.
It's gonna be
It's
crazy.
really just it's a interesting conversation because I hear it and I see it both ways. I actually got a text from a friend that we went to school with. We played sports with them. And he's just like, yeah, like I haven't really been watching the NBA, but he tuned in to watch the final. And he's like, all they do is shoot threes.
Yeah,
All they do is shoot threes.
that's it.
And
Like that's it.
from
There's no
you know,
mids, no mid
yeah,
anymore.
on the one
Well,
hand, it's like, yeah,
SGA's got a little mid range game. Like he
oh yeah,
plays in the
no, he
post and
is.
he's got mid range in him. But like the rest of these, even Jalen Williams too. But the rest of these guys, like everybody else is out there to shoot threes or dunk. Like it's just you got
There's really nothing
those
in between.
two tools in the toolbox.
So
It's
we'll see.
crazy.
We'll see. I don't think it's time to panic, to press the panic button or anything like that. I think we do have to kind of see how things pan out over the next, 5 years, 10 years. But yeah, it was bad basketball last week
Yeah.
between the Bulls and the Hornets. Um, yeah, I mean, we'll see what
The
happens. We'll see
question
what happens.
is by 2050. Will we be saying that Steph Curry completely revolutionized the game of basketball and made it so that everyone could play because you could just shoot from anywhere and shooting has gotten so crazy? Or are we going to say that Steph Curry ruined basketball because no one's ever going to shoot like this again for the next 50 years, 100 years, and the NBA will be dead by then? Because guys are
I don't
shooting 100 threes a game and only making 25 of them.
I don't know. I don't know if it'll be dead. I think Adam Silver and company. I mean, I don't think Adam Silver will be there in 25. I don't think he'll be there for 25 more years, but he might be. Who knows? Um, but
It's a good job. It's a
I
good job.
I do. It's a very good job, but I do think Adam Silver is he's very forward thinking.
Yeah,
We talked about the All Star game a couple weeks ago. It's now official. They are going to do like that tournament style, and I think if it truly got to a point where the product was like unwatchable or like
yeah.
there were
He'd do
more
something.
of these yeah, more of these games than not, he would step in and be like, "All right, like we need to make a change, whether it's a rule change,
Yeah.
whether it's
We can't play
a
like this.
format change." Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see. We might have to clip this clip
Yeah.
and
You
revisit
got to
it
get these
in 25
nerds,
years.
some of these analytics guys within these organizations, like you got to put them in a dark room and like don't let them like on the sideline. Don't let them in meetings. Don't let like give them like a few minutes to tell you about some data that he got working on all night and like then let him go back to his lab. Like stop using this to like orchestrate and create your offense and how you're going to attack a team. You can't just be like, oh yeah, so shoot more threes. Like it doesn't matter how many
That
you miss,
feels
just
like
shoot
all
more
it
threes.
is. Yeah.
That's what it is. Just shoot more threes and we'll be fine. Like it can't be that. Like Joe Mazzulla, like it worked for him. Will it work again? Like is this the new thing? I think we're gonna see if the Celtics lose and it's because they shot 28% from three after shooting 53s a game in the playoffs. I guarantee they won't play like that the following year, and no one else will. you know, so
The
that's
thing
what
with
it's gonna be. We'll
analytics,
see what happens.
the thing, yeah, the thing with analytics is, and like I don't want to make it sound like these guys are dumb or anything like that because
No,
they're
it's
not.
useful for sure.
It is useful, but when it comes to analytics, yes, the very simple answer is three is worth more than two. We understand that that's simple math. Um, the biggest part of it is personnel. Like if you don't have the personnel who can shoot at a 35 to 40% clip, then you're just like it's much better for you to get two
Yeah,
points than it is for you to get 0 points. And it
yeah,
feels like some of these teams have adopted this mentality of this is where the league's going. Three is
yeah,
worth more than two. We got to jack up as many threes as possible. But
yeah,
if you're like you taking a three and missing a three is worth 0 points. Whereas if you
yeah.
can get to the basket or a mid range or whatever and get two, like those are the things that need to come into the conversation as well.
Exactly.
So I
Go
don't
to
know.
the rim, get fouled. That's three as well. Where's
That
the data on
exactly.
that? Shorter distance, take a stronghold. You get a foul on the opposing player. You get a shot where no one's moving and you don't even got to do nothing but stand there and shoot it. Like, and you potentially get the two on top of that. Like, come on, man. Like,
Yep.
let's
Yep.
go back to that data. That's the data I want. And it's not old school. It's not any of that. It's just like it's a smart way to play the game. A 30-footer is harder than a 1-footer. Let's do that.
Yeah.
You know,
100%.
harder to make. And the league average of the league 3-point percentage average tells you exactly that. 35.9%. It's 36%. I'll give you 36. So if everybody in the league collectively is shooting 36%, that tells you that they don't have the personnel, a team wide and league wide, to be shooting
Yep.
threes this much. Because if they weren't shooting them at that level, then they would probably be around 41, 42%, which would be reasonable and good. But it's because you got dudes coming in, bless his heart, and I just shouted him out. Andre Jackson coming in here with his ugly jumper, trying to shoot 4 threes in the game. Why is he doing that? Because analytics, because the dude telling him to on the sideline, shoot that corner three. I get it, give him confidence, but he's not there yet. So tell him who he can jump over a man in a single bound. Tell him to go to the basket strong, protect the ball, and get to the rim. Maybe you get fouled and finish. Maybe you yam on him and get on Sports Center. All of it. It could all be good. It could all be good. And then when you get your shot, start taking those corner threes. The shortest one. That's the one you want to do. So I think that's another thing that's got to go into it too. Guys shouldn't be taking wing threes, the longest one at the top of the break. They should not be taking those threes. You take the short corner or the straight on top of the key on the kick out. Don't put it on the floor. Don't shoot step backs. Don't be trying to go off like dudes trying to do what they're not capable of doing. Shoot set shots. Find work within the offense. Find out where you need to be on the floor to catch and shoot. That's what you need to do. That's what they need to be coaching.
I am in agreement with you. Um, as mentioned earlier, we are a week out from Christmas, and while the NFL is trying to hijack Christmas this year,
Crazy.
it is still
Egregious, Roger. Egregious, Roger. Just
it is still
disgusting. Christmas is for basketball, Roger.
yes,
You're
it's
such
still
a
very
sick
much
man.
a
Sick.
Christmas holiday.
Yeah,
Um, what
he's
do we
sick.
got? We got a 6 game slate, which is beautiful. You get up,
Heavy.
open, open gifts, maybe a little brunch, lunch, something like that. Sit
I'm
down,
working.
watch some basketball, and just chill, just relax. Um, let's go through these Christmas Day games. I want to get our predictions for who we think who's gonna win. And then also just intriguing matchups, games that you're excited to watch. Some are more exciting than others, and we'll get to those. But let's just go in order. The first game of the day, the Spurs are heading to Madison Square Garden to take on your Knicks, our Knicks. Spurs 13-13, Knicks 16-10 as of now. Um, who do you got winning and why?
I think the Knicks win. Obviously, not fanning up right now. I just think they're a better team and they're playing really good basketball right now. Other than that little slip against the Hawks, the fraudulent Hawks, uh, the Knicks have been playing great basketball. Jalen Brunson putting
Yes,
up
they are.
incredible numbers. Carl Anthony Towns the other day, 22 points, 22 rebounds. Like, are you kidding me? They're playing great ball. Mikal Bridges kind of finding himself in his role there as well. Doing a great job on both sides of the ball. I love what the Knicks are doing right now. But I remember I said at the beginning of the season, I said San Antonio, they're going to sneak in this play-in. They're right there. They're sitting at 500. They're 500 in their last 10. They're 5-5. And Victor Wembanyama has taken the true leadership of the team. He's really becoming the face of the team. Chris Paul, a great mentor to help
Yes.
that young team grow and learn. Even though he doesn't have a championship, just learn winning habits as a veteran, a guy who's been in the league for 20 years. So I just love what the Spurs are doing. I know this is going to be a game. This won't be a walk in the park for the Knicks. The Spurs are young and scrappy with a lot of athleticism. I like Castle. I like a lot of the guys on that team. Shout out to my UNC young fellow Harrison Ingram, giving good minutes as well. I like everything they're doing down there in San Antonio, but I think the Knicks will be too much for them. This is the first time these guys are going to be playing on Christmas. I'm sure on this roster. I don't know when the last time the Spurs played on Christmas. Maybe
Yeah, I
since
don't know.
2014 or
Tim
something like that.
Duncan.
It's been a long time. Yeah, Tim
Yeah.
Duncan and those guys. So it's been a long time. None of these guys were around at that time. So maybe a little shell shock. It's the early start, 12 o'clock noon. So, you got your family going to be flying into New York. You're coming into Madison Square Garden. There are going to be a lot of distractions for a young team. I just think that the Knicks are going to go in there and handle business, do what they got to do. But it will be a good game.
Yes, I do think it'll be a good game. I think it'll be entertaining. Um, I think the Knicks are just a little. They're the better team, and they're starting to get on a bit of a roll right now. You mentioned Jalen Brunson. You mentioned Cat. Um, yeah, I got the Knicks winning. I don't think it's going to be a blowout or anything like that. It'll probably be, I would think, less than like. I think you guys win by, I don't know, 11
I
or less. Like, I don't think it's going to
don't
be a
know what the
blowout
spread
or
is.
anything like that.
I gotta check the
I think,
spread. I don't know if there's an
yeah, I
early
don't know
spread out.
offhand. Um, but yeah, I like the Knicks in the early matchup for it, for the reasons of them playing well, and then also the distractions to a young team on Christmas, going to New York City. Like, I think all of those things play into it. I do think Victor will come out ready to play. I think
Oh yeah,
that the team will be ready to play. But it's just a lot. It's a lot to kind of take in and
yeah,
digest. Um, in a prime spot game. So I
yeah.
got the Knicks winning on Christmas Day
I
as
love that about
well.
that kid too. I love that about Victor. He seems very ready, willing, and able to hold that like weight of the league. Like
Oh
he's
yeah,
gonna come out and play very well, and he's played very well in their few national TV games. Like when he knows the lights are brighter, he turns up, man. They just got to get that roster right around him, and they're gonna be in really
yeah.
good shape.
They'll figure it out. I mean, we've talked about it. We've seen it. He lights off, phone off, 9 p.m. Like, don't call me. I'm reading my books. Like, he's all
Focus.
ball, so
Yeah.
focused, and yeah, I mean, he's going to be fine. They're going to be fine. They're not their trajectory is not a championship this year. They still have some growing to do, some learning to do, but he, like you said, he is ready to
Oh yeah.
shoulder the load of the league very soon, very soon. Second game of the day is the Timberwolves heading to Dallas to face the Mavs in a Western Conference Finals rematch. Um, this is the game that I'm most excited about. Um, I mean, we saw them in the Western Conference Finals last year. The Mavs took care of business. They won 4-1 to go to the finals. But Anthony Edwards, Luca, those are two players that we debated back and forth a few times last year about who is the face of the league or who is going to be the face of the league. Um, for a nationally televised game, right in the middle of the day, Christmas Day. I think this is just going to be such an intriguing matchup between two of the best young talents in the league. Um, and I know I mentioned it last week or the week before. The Timberwolves are one of my disappointments this year. They're
Oh yeah.
14-11 currently, but that doesn't mean that they're out of it or anything like that. It just means that they've had a really slow start to this year, and it seems like they're
For
starting to
sure.
turn the corner a little bit. So, um, I'm going to take the Timberwolves. I think they're going to come in with a little bit of a chip on their shoulder, a point to
Okay.
prove in front of a national audience. But that's probably the game that I'm most excited about. I just think it's going to be
Yeah.
fireworks all game.
Yeah. I'm gonna take Dallas. Dallas. The thing about Dallas that I love is they know their identity. Everybody knows their role on that team, and they made it to the finals last year. They just added to it. They added Clay to the situation. They added Quentin Grimes to the situation, and these guys are fitting in. These are role guys at this point in both of their
Yep.
careers. Then you go to Minnesota. Yes, Ant is spectacular. He's electrifying. He's all those things, especially in these primetime games, these games that are, standalone, and he knows that all the eyes are on him. He takes it to another level. He's a great player. The Timberwolves are still putting it all together. They're a brand new team.
Yes.
They're still only, you know what I mean? They're what, 14 and 11. They're 25 games into a new team that never played together.
Yep.
Excuse me. They added Julius Randle, they added Dante DiVincenzo, not to role playing roles. Julius Randle, he came here as a guy who's averaging 25, 9, and 5. So they want that production, and they still haven't found out how to get that out of him yet. He's not exactly back to those numbers. It could be he's still getting back from the shoulder. I don't know. He says he's healthy. So I think it's about fit. And I think they just got to find a way. I said last week about how they got to find a way to move Rudy Gobert out of there and maybe
Yep.
or maybe move him to the bench and get Nas Reed in there to open it up. They need a more versatile big who can play outside, who can get to that high post and not always just have to dive to the rim, who can pop out to the side maybe and it just give the threat of a three or anything like that. Just something that can pull those bigs away and give Julius some space to operate in the paint where he's the most dangerous he's going to be as a player on your team. So, I mean, I know they're still working through those things. I don't expect them to figure that out on Christmas. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm going to take Dallas.
Okay. I like it. Um, the game I'm least interested in, Sixers heading to Boston to play the Celtics.
Oh, yeah, I bet
Um,
they wish they could have this one back.
yeah, when they put this on the
The
schedule,
ESPN want
I'm
this one back.
yeah, they definitely weren't expecting all the circus around
Yeah. It
Philadelphia,
was like, yo,
but
can we get Trey? What's Trey doing? Can we get Trey on?
I mean, if they were able to flex a game out, they would have flexed this joint
They would have
out and put
flexed the
somebody
Hawks
else in
in
there.
there. They would have flexed the Hawks right in there. Trey Young coming off
Yeah.
like a big national TV game, and
Yep.
he's got everybody talking about him. That was one of the more talked about things in the NBA this
Yeah.
this season so far is what he did at MSG. So like the NBA would have rather have it be Celtics Hawks, which has been competitive and interesting over the years since Trey's
Yeah.
been there.
I'm gonna assume you're gonna take the Celtics in that game.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
the
I'm
Sixers
right
are
there
done.
with you.
No Jared McCain
Um,
now. He's out. It's
yeah,
over
I
for them.
just saw I just saw a TikTok of him like fresh out of surgery,
Surgery.
still on like all the pain meds or whatever. Man, somebody
He's
commented
like
they were
the
just like, yo, they were just like, does this man ever take any time to himself? Like, bro,
nah.
get better and
You
then jump
can't
on
take. You
TikTok.
cannot take his happiness from him. You can't take his
Nah, that's a
happiness
fact.
from him. I love that.
That's a
Like I'm
fact.
trying to be more like Jared McCain next year. Like right now, I'm
Yo,
already starting. I'm like, you know what? Forget y'all. I'm happy. I don't care. Forget everybody.
one thing I
I'm
love.
happy. I used to always be happy. Now I'm an adult. I hate it.
Yeah, you get a little jaded as an adult.
The
I'm right
adult
there
blues.
with
The
you.
adult blues. That's what it is. It's just the
Yeah.
adult blues. But I won't let it take
Um
me down. It won't take my happiness.
I know Carmelo came out and he was like, "Yo, like let these young boys do what they want." And he shouted out
Yeah.
Jared McClain specifically. He's like, "Yo, keep painting your nails, like do whatever you want to do." You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Like
And
to them, that's fire. That's the style.
yeah. Yeah. So,
We like, all
yo,
right.
speedy recovery to him because he was hooping.
Yeah, man.
Uh, he was really one of, if not the only bright spot for that Philadelphia team through the
The
first
only,
few weeks or a few months of the season.
the
So,
most
uh,
consistent player. He was their most
yeah,
consistent player.
this game's gonna be terrible. I will still tune in
Awful.
because it's the
Nap
NBA
time.
on Christmas. But
Nap time.
yeah,
Nap time.
yeah.
Play with cash time. All that. This one gonna be on in the background.
Next game on Christmas Day, we have the Lakers heading to play the Warriors. This is also one of the games that I'm interested in, mainly just
Yeah,
because it could realistically be the last time we see LeBron and Steph play each other
yeah,
on Christmas
on
Day.
Christmas. Yeah,
So I think it's just one of those things, nostalgia, whatever you want to call it. Embrace it. Like these are two of the best that we've ever seen, two of the best competitors we've ever seen. I'm hoping that they can put on a show for us on Christmas Day. Um, I'm gonna take the Warriors. I'm gonna take the Warriors to win, but I'm just hoping for a good game.
yeah. I'm gonna take the Warriors as well, just because, literally just because they're at home. That's lit. That's it. They're a different team at home. Steph is different at home. That crowd energy really means something to them. I think it will be very close. It's going to be back and forth, most likely. And I wouldn't be surprised if the Lakers go in there and pull off an upset. That's,
Yeah.
LeBron, totally on brand. I also don't think that he's even anywhere near done. He had said it, but he's not really like doing a hit. He is not going to stop until him and Bronny are legitimately on the court. Like when Bronny's playing 24, 28 minutes a game, he's got to play another 3 years. Like I'm telling you, he's going to sign
So I
another
don't.
contract. He's not going anywhere.
I can't see him playing 3 years. I could see him playing. He'll definitely play this year. Obviously, I think
He's
I
probably
could
not even
definitely
hurt.
see. I could see him playing next year. I feel like one more year after that would be a bit of a stretch. Like, and really the reason why I say it, I love LeBron. I'm a LeBron fan. Um, it does feel a little bit like Father Time's
Yeah,
catching up with him, and I don't think LeBron wants to go out looking sorry. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like, I think he wants
yeah.
to go out on his own terms. I do also think the way that we know that this isn't his last year, I think LeBron is going to want the farewell tour. So like
You're
it
right.
would be something in the off season where he's like, "Hey, like this is it." So
This is
that
it.
he can get all of his flowers throughout the
Yeah,
season and um but yeah, man, he's starting to slow down a little bit and it's making me sad, but
yeah, for
um
sure. It's
we'll
like he
see.
is
We'll see.
mortal.
Yeah. I'm
Wait,
just
he is
hoping
made of human parts? They get hurt? His
I'm
bones
hoping
break?
that we can get some fireworks on Christmas Day. And again,
Oh
that's
yeah.
not to say that LeBron and or Steph won't play on Christmas Day again. I just don't know that we're going to get this matchup on Christmas Day again.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Um. Oh, and just one quick fun fact. I mean, not even a fun fact, just a stat. The last time the Lakers and the Warriors played on Christmas Day was the 2018-19 season, or 2018-19 season. The Lakers won 127-101. Um, I'll give you two, so this doesn't drag on. I'll give you one guess for each team who was the leading scorer. Leading scorer for the Lakers.
In 2019,
Yeah.
Anthony Davis? Okay.
No.
No? Oh, yeah.
Kyle
Anthony Davis was it?
Kyle Kuzma.
What? No way.
Kyle Kuzma.
That's crazy.
And then
Uh,
what about the Warriors?
for the Warriors, yeah, this is Steph is out this year. Andrew Wiggins.
Andre Iguodala.
Iguodala, he was still a fan too at that point? That's crazy. I was way off.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, was Wiggins even there? I'm trying to think if Wiggins he was even there at that point.
Bro, I was
I'm
looking
trying to
at the box
recall.
score. I forgot
You're like,
that
ew.
they like that was still KD was still on that team. It
Yeah.
like the rosters had me all messed up. Had me all messed up. But yeah, Kyle Kuzma and Andre
Because
Iguodala.
Clay and Steph were out, right? Clay was out, Steph was out.
I think Steph played.
Was that the Steph played, but Clay was out. He
I
tore his
believe so.
ACL like the finals before that. Yeah.
Crazy.
That's crazy. Didn't see that coming.
Um, we've got the last game of the night is the Nuggets heading to Phoenix to play the Suns. Um, I'll let you go first. Who do you got winning, and
Woo.
why?
This is It's late. Stay up for it. This is the game of the day. This is a rivalry. You recall when we went to Arizona for Moose Bachelor Party, Suns and four. That was right before. Like that happened right before we went out there to Arizona. We seen
Yep.
the dude. He was doing club appearances and all that stuff in Phoenix.
Yes.
Or so this is a real dude. Like he knocking out their fans. Like these teams don't like each other. They knocking each other out in the stands. It's crazy out there. Both teams 14 wins. Denver 14-10, Phoenix 14-11. This is as pick 'em as you could get. I'm gonna take Denver on the road because of the way that Nikola Jokic is playing right now. He's averaging a near
Unbelievable.
triple double. He's just been on a stretch that's crazy. Let's see if this little break that we had to entertain the NBA Cup and spotlight that does anything to the chemistry or the flow of things for the Nuggets, but I don't think it will. He's playing at a great level, and I think it's just going to be too much for for Phoenix. Nurkic, he does the best he can, but he never does great against Jokic.
Never.
So I
Never.
think
I mean,
he's
most people don't, but definitely not him.
yeah. Jokic is going to have him in hell as usual, that which is where his address is when they play. And yeah, I'm gonna take I'm gonna take Denver.
So I'm taking Denver as well, reluctantly, because I like what the Sun have been doing.
Yeah, me too.
Um, they've been playing well. They really have been playing well. I think the two biggest things, obviously Jokic has been phenomenal, but also Jamal Murray has seemingly heard all the
Yeah,
chatter and he's starting to
found
play a
himself.
little bit better. And
Yeah,
I mean, there in the bubble, there was truly thought about or talk about Jamal Murray being like the next best like big shot maker, big moment shot maker. Kind of like displacing
yeah,
Dame and Dame time and all that stuff because he was going absolutely nuts. Like he was hitting from
crazy.
everywhere in the court.
Everything,
Um,
everything,
and then
everywhere.
and I'm not sure what happened. I don't want to say he lost himself or lost confidence or anything like that, but just something changed. He hasn't been playing well. But recently, it feels like he's kind of gotten his groove back. And when him and Jokic are going, they're just a tandem that is difficult to beat. So I'm gonna ride the hot hand. I'm gonna say the
Yep,
the the Nuggets win as well. I don't think they're going to run away with it. I think it'll be a competitive back and forth game. But ultimately, I do think Denver comes out on top in that game as well.
for sure.
Um, so before we get out of here, um, I need you to talk to the Knicks, to talk to the Knicks fans. We need our weekly pep talk to keep the hopes and the vibes high in New York moving forward.
The Knicks are coming up on a very, very important stretch right now. They are they're coming up on a stretch where they're going to play 19 games in the next, I believe, 34 days. So it's going to be a lot. They have a road trip mixed into there as well. There's some tough teams along the way of this schedule. This is a very critical stretch for this team. If you follow, like I follow, last year around this time is when we made the trade for OG Anunoby. We're almost at that anniversary. I'm not sure if there's going to be any movement this year, or or not. But I know that this was the month that the Knicks took off last year. We remember they were 14-3 through in the month of January, and this is where they really took off and started playing good basketball. So I mentioned it before. Jalen and Cat, they're figuring it out. We all knew Cat was a great player. I think he's just being it's amplified playing with these other great players on this team, and yeah. The message is just they gotta just keep trending where they're trending right now. Everything is going up. No more setbacks. There's gonna be games. Like I said before, they're second in the league with 36 attempts and threes. We were talking about the importance of the 3-point shot. So they could be one of those teams. They've fallen victim a couple times this year to shooting a bunch of threes and not making them, and they lost these games as a result. So that game they lost in the NBA Cup to the Hawks, they shot like 23% from three. So
Yep.
it can bite you. There's going to be nights like that where you just don't make shots. That's a part of the game. But I think it's important that the chemistry that they're building, the way that they're running the offense, the way that things are running through Jalen and Cat, but everybody is still eating. And Cat is a much better passer, facilitator out of the
He
mid
really
post and
is.
and low post than I thought he was. Much better, and he's making some great decisions. He's not turning the ball over. That's been huge for us. And yeah, let's just hang on through January because the biggest problems for the Knicks has been their interior defense. They're giving up everything in the paint. And the next biggest problem is rebounding. They got killed by the Hawks. That game was the biggest loss of the season. And they got killed by the Hawks on the boards. There was one possession that stood out to me. There was like 3, 4 offensive rebounds that they got in that possession. With Mitch back, Mitchell Robinson, we just got to hold on until he gets back. He protects the paint for us. He gets those second chance baskets for us on offense, and he cleans it up after these great defensive possessions that we have. He'll clean up the boards and say, "Let's get this and let's get out and run." I love that. So if we could just hang on to the middle end of January when he's healthy again, we're gonna be in good shape. Let's go
I
Knicks.
like it. I like it. Um, with that said, let's get out of here.
Yes,
I
sir.
will absolutely talk to you before Christmas, but we will not be on before Christmas. So, Merry Christmas, my guy, to you, Cash,
Merry
your
Christmas, my
family,
guy.
Carissa.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, I hope you enjoy your time with the fam.
Oh, I will, man. You too, bro. Tell the boys I said what up. Tell everybody I said what up. And yeah, man.
Definitely.
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to everybody out there, man. It's a good
Yes.
time of year. Remember, don't let anybody take your happiness. I'm not letting them take mine. Let's go next.
Don't let anybody take your happiness. I love it. Let's
So,
get out of here on
no,
that
brother.
note.